Sasquatch. And then over here, I've got this other reality. And over here, I've got like 6 things at once. So it's about, we could say juggling, but kind of moving with that reality. So here we go. I'm just going to pause that. I like to come up here and we're going to talk to the squash, right? If I haven't forgotten anything, right? All right, just going to ground my energy just so I'm a bit more connected into the earth. And just bring in the light above me. I'm going to bring in some light on all the areas of my wall, on my roof, on my bottom of the floor, in the back here. Yeah, very good. Again, we're going to repeat very similar things that I've heard over the last, 4 years continuously. Your reality is shifting dimensions. It will become quite obvious as it will look like a split reality. One day you will see a certain thing, the next day you will see something else shift. We could say there are beings that are battling with the timelines, is what I'm hearing. Battling with the timeline. Is that correct? Battling. We are helping your reality more than you realize. Human beings, many of you live in a fog and are in a dream, and you do not understand that you are very much connected to other multiple realities, as you have said in your podcast. I don't have a podcast. Show. In your show. Many people do not understand or are able to handle multidimensional realities. We are intrinsically connected to nature. Nature is your power source. Nature is our power source. And when you have been cut off from nature, as you all have in your species, you are disconnected from your power. When you are connected to nature, wholeheartedly, you are connected to the power of the cosmic web of this galaxy. You notice the ones that are more connected to nature, such as in your DNA, the Maori culture and the Aboriginal culture, which is not too far back. They are much more in balance with the natural order of things. Understand that it's not just a connection to nature itself, but it is the natural order of everything that is here. We have claimed our connection to the earth. We have been here for many, many, many a millennia, in different times and different spaces. And we have had to, in the different cataclysms in the past, have had to share our spaces in the caves and the systems with you humans. But your species in the past was much more connected to us, such as the Native Americans, much more connected to us. And we could telepathically talk to each other. But there was much respect there, much more respect than there is today. You do not have respect for yourself. You do not have respect for your own culture. When you trade nature for technology, when your species has traded the natural resources for money, for greed, we have always been in and out. Luckily, we are able to shift dimensions because we have been with our hearts connected to deeply to Mother Earth, and we understand how to work with her technology. See, you understand, it is actually a form of technology that is more connected to the biofield of your aura, energy of the cosmos and the universe. But there was a time in the past when there's all these flashes of imagery, so I'm just going to just discern. a long time ago. It feels like 3,000, 4,000 years ago, when technology, actually, I'm going to go back further, 3,000, 4,000, maybe, I want to go back maybe 34,000, 30,000 years ago. Okay, is that correct? Yes, when the islands were still and the continents were in the oceans, Atlantean, Lemurian time, and even further back. So you have played this game over and over again, but humanity needs to learn that the real technology that you need to connect to is the cosmic psi biofield, earth biofield technology. And this is not a button that you push, but in some ways it is. It is about having that knowledge and knowing how to use it. It is not good to have with human beings because you have an interesting schism inside of your subconsciousness. It's greed and power that has been placed in your consciousness, constantly wanting and needing to fill up your being with the resources externally, not understanding that the resources come from within. Your resources of your life force come from within. And when you realize that you connect into your being deeply and the connection to Mother Earth, who is your savior, not anything externally outside of yourself, within you. You call it the Christos or Sophia energy of the universe, understanding that it is within you, but it has been taken away from you as well. Understanding that the psyche has been hijacked over a millennia by dark forces that have been invited into your realm. You understand because of the greed and because of the needing and wanting for more technology and for more resources that you have unfortunately sold your soul, it feels like. Sold your soul. Your soul is deeply connected into the Earth Mother. We have the technology because we will not abuse it. The squash do not abuse because our ethical, spiritual energy is on par with our psi technology abilities. Many of you have wanted to understand how we go in from one dimension to another dimension, understanding that we have control of the mind. We have control of our mind as we fill out our whole being with the Christos, the light of the universe, and then we direct our will through to the energies that we know like the back of our hands. And he wants to talk about it's like ley lines and portals we are able to access with the keys that we have within our DNA and our being. But understanding that humanity is remembering the keys within the DNA. It's literally showing me like piano keys. So this is very, very interesting. Okay. And there's a golden key he's showing me. It is about centering the mind and reconnecting the memory that you have within your DNA. You have never lost it, dear ones, even though it is thousands and maybe even more for some people who have been disconnected from nature longer. Nature is the power source, you understand, of your whole being. We are able to access different dimensions because we have never shifted away from the law, the knowledge, Lore, law, universal law, our balance of, damn it, sorry, I put do not disturb on. Gosh, okay. Put that over there. It's annoying. Hang on. Come back. That was good. Yeah, you must balance, knowledge. Hang on. Reconnection. You are, yes, all reconnecting back to nature. If you choose, you're at a fork, a crossroads, a fork in the road. Do you want to go the way of harnessing an energy that is outside of yourself and not connected to the natural cosmic laws of the universe? Or do you want to connect to, he says the technology is, it's all about the intellect and mental without the heart involved. And when you have the disconnection from the heart, you cannot travel along the ley lines and the portals. Understanding that there is a wisdom and a deep knowledge in nature to know if someone is more, has a spiritual intent of do no harm versus someone who is out for themselves and greedy. We can feel it a mile away. Your energy perforates throughout the system and the cosmic web before you even arrive. So understanding that we must all connect in a spiritual way to the law of nature and have her highly regarded and respected above all things. You understand. This is the planet you are standing on. This is the only home that you are on. We have lived here for a long, long time. He wants to show me like a light above. And he's kind of flicking on the light. And that's how I bring in higher vibrational energy. I'm going to do that now again. This squash wants to give some sort of a method, which I think is great. Harnessing the rainbow energies. The rainbow has keys within the frequency of light and sound and tuning. You don't need to know this on a mental level. It is only when this information is truly embodied into the body through, he says, the way that we disconnect from the mind. It feels to me like meditation. But he says nature is our meditation. And I love his hands. I want to say there is a kind of gorilla kind of look about the hands, but they're more humanoid. And I'm seeing the leather kind of padding in the hands and the fur on the other side. Okay, so he's looking at fruit. And he says, speak to the trees, speak to the earth, speak to the rocks, because it has much more knowledge than you will be able to get from any other being outside of your planet. Even the extraterrestrials, they have knowledge, yes, because they are deeply connected into their own planets. They bring the planet into the heart of them. They bring the planet into the heart, and they trust and they respect the creativity, the knowledge and the wisdom that is in the heart of all planets in this cosmic web, this cosmic continuation of another galaxy that is newly forming. This newly forming galaxy is your own galaxy, our own galaxy. Isn't it wonderful? Isn't it amazing that finally the veil, the blindness will be lifted off humanity to see what has been suppressed or repressed in a dream. This dream spell is the wishes of dark energies. Because once we truly bring in Mother Earth into the heart of all that is, we have a deep innate knowledge of knowing who we truly are. We will be your teachers for the ones that will listen. We will help you to remember the knowledge. He's picking a beautiful hibiscus. Oh, that's out there. Yeah, he's around. So he's actually just on the property. He's actually picking a hibiscus from the tree that's just over there. Very interesting. I had a light fall down. I had a washing basket bang, just to let me know, and the smell on Monday night. So it's beautiful. We are nothing to be afraid of. So beautiful. I love the energy of him. He feels like he wants to show me like the people of Hawaii and Polynesia, um, and the Native Americans. It's like, and the Aboriginal people, the people that are closer to the land and the ocean, have not forgotten the knowledge. But dear ones, many of you that have decided to live in cities, and this goes back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. Some people have been so disconnected for so long that they are living under a dream spell continuously and have forgotten the ways. It's very natural for you to connect and speak to the trees, for they have sentience, they have consciousness just like you. But the difference is they are at a slower pace. When you are not connected to the time of all things, I want to say Lord of Time, a Lord of Time, and time itself is a prison system. Time itself. For us, we do not give our power away to time, but we understand the changing cycles of nature, when it is time for nighttime and when it is time for rest. But we do not give our power away to this clock that you have. We understand and we ask our bodies if it is correct to have a specific herbal supplement. I take that back, not supplement, but herbs from the plants and trees and the forest. We are, many of us, and I want to say, I don't know who this is for, right? But we are in the Appalachian Mountains as well. Do you come from the Appalachian Mountains or something? Is that why you're coming here? North, we are everywhere. We are also in your country under a different name, which is the Yowies. They are of a slightly different species, but they have a closer connection to us. And you may be getting the clairvoyance of this Sasquatch kind of holding like an elbow to elbow hand with the Yowie, because there is a connection even across the seas, northwest of America. So I'm getting mountain ranges and I'm going to go all the way down and I can hear the Appalachians. I don't know a lot of the geography of the US, but this is what I'm just hearing. I'm just repeating what I'm hearing. Okay. Oh, hello, more people. Pause. He says, many of you will understand the connection to the rainbow. Okay, so I'm going to go back and forth with this. What do you mean by the rainbow has different energetic frequency and band width, and that if you slow a certain band width down, you can slip into another reality. This I'm not a scientist, so bandwidth. So it looks like waves of reality, like dimensional. So our dimension, a slightly different dimension. It's like I know where to slip into. I know where the portals are. This is what he's showing me. And I'm kind of turning that bandwidth down around. And I can see like a hole going in to a different reality. And I want to slip into that. He's showing me it in an embodied way. So I'm kind of looking at what he's doing. He knows where to go. So he goes into the natural portal, comes out the other side, but his body has changed like a frequency. So how has your body changed? I've slowed down. The breath, slow down the breath. But then as I connect into the breath and I connect in something in my DNA, I want to say like telomere. Is that a part of the DNA? Telomere, which is active because I use it. See, I use it. If you do not use your psychic abilities, telepathic abilities, it's not so easy. It's something you have to practice. The DNA itself, slip into the portal, but my body has shifted to go through that. And so when I go to the other dimension, which is my pocket of reality, my energy shifts to that reality. So I tell my DNA and my body to slow, and I change the clock. It's like I change the time because I know my pocket of dimensional reality is slower and it has shifted. But when I go into your reality, I know I have to quicken up my DNA. If that makes any sense to you, let me know. Okay? Because I don't really understand it, but it feels right. It feels when I fasten up my DNA to an even higher frequency, and I want to see this frequency that goes like this, like this, showing it on the side. I can then slip into a different time portal, different reality that is also outside of this one, and it is much more lighter, brighter, and I'm seeing like golden pyramids. I think I'm on a different planet because he's showing me, it looks like, hang on 1 second here. Different planet. It's a different planet. Because I was like, this looks like brand new pyramids from Egypt. They're brand new. They look brand new. They look gold. And this is a remote viewing, clairvoyance, right? So I can see it so brightly. You may be having a shared vision. It's like I can't really see the sky properly. It's kind of very bright and light, very bright. But I know that there's sand here. The sand is like a reddy color. I'm on a different planet. He's showing me it. See, we don't need craft. It's a fallacy that you, in a lot of ways, need craft, especially when you travel through the stargates and the portals into different planetary systems. We have an affiliation with a planet that is outside of this galaxy. You get there through a wormhole. So he's showing me like a wormhole. You think it's a wormhole. You call it a wormhole, but it's a doorway into a different galaxy. So I'm in a different galaxy now. This is how we travel. We don't need UFOs and we don't need craft. In a lot of ways, when the ETs show their craft, which are a mixture of biological and technology, that it is sometimes more for you than it is for them. But some still have not really harnessed harnessed it within their bodies. So I noticed that the ones that you're showing me are Nordic looking, humanoid, and they harness 0-point gravity, UFOs. Are they able to travel like you through portals and stargates just with your body and different parallel realities? Yes, but with the use of technology. But why can't they do it through their own DNA? Why can't they shift through understanding that many of them have lost their ways through the gifts and the presence that technology gives? They have moved away from understanding that the cosmic law and order of things, that you must come from a place of unity consciousness, of love and unconditional love for all of nature and all of sentient beings. And some of them have lost their way. When we say they've lost their way, they have an imbalance. They have not gone the right way and have chosen technology over the law of the cosmic universe, the cosmic law of the universe, which is do no harm and to understand that you are the creator. Each and every one of you has the creator and cosmic energy within you. Therefore, of course, you can bypass time and the frequencies of different realities because you move within the different dimensions appropriately, feeling into the frequency that is through that different dimension. We then have to, I don't know this word, quarterize our field before we move into that dimension that we so choose to go to. Now, what do you get out of moving through different dimensions? And do all squash move within different dimensions? We teach our younger ones the technology, and we could say technology is not exactly the right word, but we'll use it for now. We teach our young children how to harness the heart. The heart itself has a map within it. Once you connect the map of your heart and your mind, and there are some things that we do not share here, certain ways of moving through the heart that can match up with the frequency of the other dimension. And we teach them to feel into that place and adjust our frequency before we shift dimensions. This is like learning how to surf. Many of you, it's really difficult. Some of you maybe never will learn it, but it takes practice and time and confidence and practice. But for our species, it's much easier because our DNA has the knowledge and the memory of being able to shift into different dimensions. And I don't know if anyone needs to know this information, but it's quite fascinating. I wonder if there's some questions actually that's related to this squash. He's a young, he looks and feels like the age of our human, 30 years, around that. But if he's older, it feels older, but he looks about 30. It's like I want to say 100 in his years, but he looks about 30. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to ask him that. Okay, so how are you able to defy the age factor? How do you how do you slow down the aging process? I want to say the telomeres, which is in the DNA, but it's more than that. Let me just feel into it. It's a knowing and a knowledge once you are connected into the cosmic order of the field of unity consciousness. Age becomes secondary. Age becomes secondary. You slow it down because you are more in connection with the unity consciousness of all that is. And when you are connected into the unity consciousness of all that is, there is an increase in a frequency of healing and light. Remember, do no harm. But how do you eat? Don't you eat like deers and elk and things like that? When we go into your reality, our body requires it. When we go into our dimension, it's not so much needed. When we go into the density of your reality, it requires it. But some people actually choose to live some squash choose to live in our reality, apparently in the mountains and things like that. Hang on. There are species that have chosen a different way. There are different species within the species that have chosen a different way. It doesn't mean they're lesser or we're better or they're better. They've just chosen to be in your time, whatever, and whatever. It's like soul contracts or something like that. It feels like Akashic records. It's like, and I see a woman's female Sasquatch's foot, and she's like she's got her foot on the earth, but she's kind of up and down on the earth, up and down on the earth. They are able to, wow, that's bright. They are able to camouflage. Very nice energy. Wow. When they are able to bring more of their light into their bodies, as you are all becoming carbon to crystalline, as you call it, as more light comes into the DNA, it activates these gifts and these abilities. But it will be knowing when to use it and how to use it and for what reason will be the markers or the experiential learning within your individual journeys. It's a very long answer. Yeah, cool. Thanks, guys. Got a few on today. Oh, there's a lot of light coming in. It's beautiful. Star seeds and down under, just describe. Oh, lovely. What's this? This explains to me like a black hole transmutation. I'm hit with the solar flares and transmute until positive plasma. Yeah, it's true. We are our own key masters. Wow, amazing. Yeah, it's really cool, actually. Birth of new Earth rays frequency so high it expands into a new universe. Oh, wow. Yeah. Starseed Patriots of Down Under. Oh, wow. Hi. A big hello to all of you, amazing, beautiful Starseed souls. Another Aussie channel joining the live chat. Oh, that's good. I've been sort of isolated Starseed Patriot, not really knowing, sort of doing my own thing, I suppose. All right, cool. Thank you. To all the networkers out there, that's fantastic. Okay, let me keep on going, all right, because this is quite interesting. Okay, I'm going to go back to that place. Let me just double check something. I'm just going to ask. He's showing me a different dimensional. Is this a future reality? Yes, it's like a reconnection to this other galaxy. Do you remember me talking about the pyramid, the golden pyramid? All right. So he's on what appears to be a golden plate with all this insignia. It looks like different markings on, and he's standing on top of it, and he's looking with all his fur on the back of his legs and his back. He's kind of, yes, of course, it's the golden era. So he's saying we are heading into a golden era, but there will be much tumultuous times and dark times ahead. But we like to talk about the golden era because at the same time as all this is uplifting of dark, you are also activating your energetic biofield, and many more of you will be channeling and telepathing with us. Be not afraid. We can see the shift in the consciousness of the humanity. The spiritual energies are becoming more soaked into the body like a sponge. We welcome you into our reality, and we want you to know that we look at you like children, just as other species do, because you, unfortunately, in the past, went back into your infancy of not truly understanding your capability and the knowledge and the LORE, law within you. The spiritual laws of the universe were cut off in a time 34,000 years ago by beings that brought you into a lower dimension. This lower dimension is what has made your planet, our planet, stuck. We luckily are able to shift into higher and lower and middle dimensions, but you unfortunately have all been stuck in this very, very dense place. It is not so easy. Many of you will choose not to stay here, as we have seen and foretold. Many of you exit in the future, in the very near future, as the destruction of this system is quite evident and will be quite evident going forward from this day onward. You will notice the speeding up of the destruction of the systems that do not work. Towers are falling, buildings are falling, and you are seeing the hell that you have created for the children, and the wars and the screaming and the children. This is not the right way. You have gone the wrong way. Many of you know this. We want to say to you all that with your very beautiful consciousness that is coming in, you harness this into your body. Instead of looking at the world in a fear-based way and seeing the destruction, we want you to send the light to the people suffering there. It is more powerful than you realize. As you connect your consciousness into the elements that are there, the fire, the water, the air, the earth, you understand that your consciousness uplifts hope and takes away fear and greed. And we can all do that now. We can send the energy directed to these places. There's a place in the earth right now. We understand, probably you understand, that there's a battle going on. I don't want to go into detail. You know what I mean? Right? So we are sending in now the light and increasing the light of all the soldiers that are in this place, the trees, the earth, the rocks, children, the mothers, the husbands, the families, sending it all there now. We can stop the war and we can stop the energy if you uplift it out of strife, out of destruction, out of chaos. You are reminding them of their sentient consciousness. We see your species so lost, so disconnected from your true nature. And this is why many empaths and sensitives and souls with the ability to hear us have been told the only way forward and through this is through the connection, through the heart and nature and the trees and the rocks. This reality, if we do not give it the heart that it has increased, it will be disappearing more and more. And do you understand why the forests have been cut down and why all the resources have been taken? Because of the choices of your forefathers to choose technology, artificial energies, artificial intelligence, it feels like, over the heart and the core of the soul. We can turn this around through connecting every single day with the earth. The waves of the plasma of the consciousness of the universe are shifting this dimension, whether you like it or not. It depends on where humanity steers this, where it will go forward. That's why it looks like a battle with the timelines and the dimensions, because we are all waiting for every human being on this planet to remember themselves. Yes. And this dream spell will be shifted. Yes. Such a knowledgeable squash, isn't he? I want to ask for a name, but I just find names so basic, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, just every time I ask for a name, they're just like, just call me Fred, you know, or something like that. It's not that important, because what and who you are talking to now is a representation of the squash overall. And we are all cheering you on, the ones that choose to be our speakers and choose to connect in this way. Many more will be seen, as many more have been seen lately. Have you not noticed? It is not because they don't know that they're on camera. It is because they do know they're on camera. And you will notice this going forward, that we are showing up because we can. And we're not going to show up to people that have guns in their hands and want to shoot us, because we can see you and feel you from a mile away. We are going to show up so you realize that you are not alone on this planet, and that you must come back to nature. You must connect to the trees and the earth. Even if you live in a city apartment, it is valuing the natural plants and the ivy and even your house plants. Is a valuation above all things. Valuing sentience above all things. This is how you come back to balance. When the water is crystal clear, he's showing me the water in his, I love his leather hands. On the other side is fur, and the leathery looking on the other side is like black, grayish, dark gray. And he's showing me the water. Yummy. I love this water. It's so beautiful and rich. Yum. It's like sweet. When you value the water, when you value the trees, when you value the soil, it is truly enriching. And you notice that your health improves. Are you able to shift like places of water? Yes. But there is a push on your planet to even make it more toxic. You are battling a species that wants to annihilate you and this planet. This is how they conquer. This is how they take over systems. They poison the people, they psychologically affect the people by hijacking their consciousness and making them feel powerless. You understand? I want to say who they are, but I think you can kind of guess. Lower galactics, I'm going to call them. There's a story here. I'm just downloading it. Okay, I see a reptilian from another planet. It's so very interesting because he's surrounded kind of like by Egyptian kind of hieroglyphics, and there's a throne, and it's a spaceship because he's driving it, right? There is a story here of that kind of period of time. And that's when it all went bad. It's kind of Egyptian, Babylonian, like back in that time. And you think it's only in your near history. No, they've been here for a very long time. And it helped them to lower this dimension so they could occupy it. And I want to say there's a person that people kind of put up on a pedestal, but I think historically he's not really of the kind of kosher, but you take your own with that. Thoth, I always get that high priest, shifting stargates and portals to dark and lower dimensions with the help of the Greys and reptilians. Yep. Shifting it way back in time because it was more pertinent to their bodies and they were able to stay here. Whereas if you raise the frequency, as all of this galaxy is doing, then they will be seen for who they are. We cannot wait till the day the cloaking disappears. Goodness, it's like chaos. And I can see people who are reptilian and they're running like, I know what, gosh, I'm getting so many images. I can say basically everyone in the Vatican, I can see like someone who looks like a Pope or a Vatican, but in the Vatican, that's what I'm seeing. Gosh, it must be okay to talk about this. There's still hubs and places where they occupy. You will notice these places are usually the highest, hang on, ground. The places where there is the highest order of things, the high elites, there are hubs where they are still there. But as the plasma and the light increases, they cannot use the cloaking that they do, because people can see them for who they are much more. Your vibration increases, and then you can see through the illusion. You can see through the cloaking. You can see us more. The veil is lifting. We should just call this the veil is lifting. Thank you so much. I'm going to call him Fred. Squash, you like that? Fred. You know that it's like Wright said, Fred. I like him. He's nice. He's got a good energy about him. Lots of knowledge. He's also careful about certain topics that he knows will harm or make me come to harm. So I really appreciate that, actually. He's got a bit more awareness. Some of the ETs don't really. They're like, well, actually, the knowledge is great. Doesn't matter what happens to you. He's like, yeah, okay, I'm aware, you know. This is great. All right, let's read some of the things. What's this? Hi, Boomerang Girl. Okay, cool. Patriots, positive future. Yes, it's assured, but we still have to live in this reality, in this dimension, and go through all the shifts, the ascension symptoms, and all the shifts that come with being here and shifting it. Really, it's still work to do. You know, can't get from A to Z without. Unfortunately, today and going forward, it's really going to come to the front is the banks, petroleum, the petrodollar, all of that stuff. Systems are disintegrating, and we should see it like that instead of freaking out. Obviously, take precautions. You know, if you need to get money out of the bank, that sort of thing. Oh, gosh, I can see tanks and war and firing and that sort of thing. But it's at the same time, so much light is coming here. You are not headed on a path of destruction, even though it looks like it. It's a disintegration of the old system. We need to remember that, okay? The cloaking comes off about 2025. Oh, really? Great. Thank you, Fred. I'm just going to call him Fred. You get wrapped up in names, just like my guides do. They go, oh, names, you know, okay, we'll give you a name. It's just for us, really. Okay. I'm too sexy for my squash. That's true. That's why sometimes I'm not very hungry anymore. Yeah, so am I. I'm not either. I really don't eat as much as I used to. I have something in the morning and I don't eat all day, and I'll have some food in the evening. I don't know if other people are going through that, but that's true, Angel Wings. I don't actually eat a lot, and it's something about our stomachs are finding the food quite difficult to digest as we are moving from carbon to crystalline. Yeah, crystalline. Crystalline has a lot of rainbow in it. And when I've looked at the skin of some of the high dimensional ETs, you'll see a translucent rainbow shimmer across their skin. Yeah, it's interesting because that's what we're going to get. And you'll see it with us as well. We have the rainbow within us. So does the squash. But they're able to harness and remember how to navigate the rainbow crystalline structures within the heart-based reality. Because, okay, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing the squash again. And he says that we hold the reality of the dimension within the heart, and then we are able to access it when we slow down. And what about if you go back to a dimension that's more faster pace? He's jumping up and down. You get faster. It's like you fasten up the heart. Is that correct? It's all about the heart. That's why when you see people accidentally going into portals and things like that, they'll have heart issues because they haven't. And he says it's very dangerous when you don't match your heart based heart frequency to the next dimension, because you're out of sync. You're out of sync with that dimension. It's like you clock off is the word. You clock off. It's hard to understand that for many of you, but this is technology that comes into the future, the understanding of the heart. The heart is the key. The heart is the key. And this is why they've locked you in so much into the valuing of the books, knowledge that come from books, knowledge that comes from people hypothesizing certain realities and certain outcomes, but they've really got no idea. Your maths, your science, everything is very infantile. Understanding the knowledge is within your heart. The knowledge is within the energetic frame of this planetary system that's encased within the trees and the rocks. It is not just a tree. It is not just a rock. It is not just an animal. It's not just a lizard. When you tune into the connection, as I do, he says, I do that, yes. When I channel, and he's showing me how it's so funny, they know. He's showing me how I talked to a lizard at the creek the other day. So I sat down and I said, hey, how are you? When I'm doing, hey, how are you? I'm connecting in and connecting into the heart of that animal. And I can see the light within them as I see the light within me. That's where namaste comes from, right? That's ancient tech. That's ancient knowledge. Namaste, the light within me sees the light within you. Wah! So anyway, that lizard down at the creek, then it started giving me all this information. They always say the same thing. They always know that we're completely out of balance with nature, but this has harmed us. This has harmed us and has taken us backward. You think you're so smart with your civilizations and your cities on this planet and your technology. You can't be further away from the truth. You are out of alignment with your own souls and the spirit world as well. I'm seeing a Native American woman holding hands in a teepee, and she's rocking back and forth, and she connects to her ancestors and her guides for knowledge going forward for the whole tribe. For the whole tribe, this knowledge was kept a secret. Why do you think they have harmed so many of the original peoples? Because the knowledge of their heart is powerful. We are reminding you of the knowledge that you have within your own being. It is the same as the rocks and the trees and the knowledge that is kept within other beings. They tell you the right way, just like the lizard told you that you are out of balance with nature and that you must return. Yes. It's like humanity is like cried out for help. That's what I can see. Those are crying out on your planet. Oh, gosh. Yeah, the energy of our earth and our planet is like so warlike, and is a ripple effect out into the universe, and it affects us as well, other beings, right? Squash is saying us, but he's actually saying it's his beings, his reality, but he knows he's connected to ETs and other beings as well, because they actually understand the cosmic order of things, that we are all connected. Yeah. And that's why you will see UFOs and squash sometimes at the same time. Yeah. Because that person that we are showing ourselves to is a gift. It's a gift of waking up. They've forgotten, and we are helping them to remember. We will tune into their Akashic records quite easily, and we know that they have had a lifetime where they have had a deep intrinsic connection to us. So then we show ourselves, hello, and then that may wake up that person into their own heart. It is a gift, dear one. It is a gift. Remember, we are all connected. Very good. Hi, Bridget. Sorry, snort. G'day, all from Aussie Yowie lands. Oh, wow. Hi. I actually haven't connected. So I've connected twice to a Yowie, two different Yowies, one in Melbourne that made himself known, and one down in a Brampton Beach up here in far north Queensland. But they're shyer here. They don't show themselves as much. And maybe, he's just kind of answering it. Maybe because I had a connection with them when I was a Native American person. And that's probably why I'm in Australia. But like the Yowie are very shy. They're just, and he's telling me different species, but we are of the same, but it's different. Yeah. They keep themselves to themselves because it's out of safety. And there's a feeling of being hunted down as well. Gosh, right. The truth shall set you free. Yes. Starseed Patriots Down Under. I'll have to make friends with you. Chris, is it? Hi there. Logically Insane. Good to see you. Oh, wow. Talk amongst yourselves. It's a community channel. Yeah. Wow. Well, looks like I've gone an hour and 10. Oh, has it? Is that 2 hours? It can't be 2 hours. Oh, no, it's an hour and 10. Oh, hour and 9.